Today, we are diving into one of the most powerful psychological teachings I've ever come across, the Kakacūpamasutta, or the Simile of the saw. But we're not just going to skim the surface. No way. We're going deep, right into the original Pali language. We use a special kind of linguistic analysis to unlock the hidden meanings that are so often lost in translation, all to find some incredibly practical wisdom for building a truly unshakable mind.
But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that hot flash of anger when someone criticizes a friend of yours, or maybe a group you feel a part of? You know, that instant reflex to jump in and defend them. Well, that exact feeling, that totally human reaction, is precisely where our 2,500-year-old story begins. All right, so let's get into the story. It all starts with a monk in the Buddhist community who's found himself in a very sticky and honestly a very relatable situation. So let me introduce you to a monk named Molyapa Gona. The text tells us he was spending a lot of time with a community of nuns, and they'd all become super close. Now, here's the problem. This closeness had created this kind of defensive pact. If anyone said even a slightly negative thing about the nuns in front of him, Molyapa Gona would get really upset and start a fight. And it worked both ways. If someone criticized him, the nuns would immediately jump to his defense. They were totally trapped in this cycle of mutual anger.
So when the Buddha hears about all this, his advice is just incredibly precise. And to really get it, we have to look at two key words in the original Pali that just cut right to the heart of the psychological issue. This is where we go way beyond a standard translation.
The first key word the text uses to describe the monk's relationship is samsato. Now, a normal translation might just say he was associated with the nuns. Sounds fine, right? Harmless. But a deeper linguistic dive, what we call a niruti insight, reveals a much more visceral meaning: stuck together.
Yeah, think of it like being stuck together with glue or slime. It's not just about being friends, it's a messy entanglement where the boundaries between you and them start to blur. Your emotional state is totally wrapped up in theirs. You see how this one word changes the whole diagnosis? It goes from being a good friend to being psychologically entangled.
So with that new diagnosis, the Buddha offers a very specific prescription. He tells Molyapa Gona that to fix this, he has to let go of all the desires and thoughts connected to something called gehasita.
And here we go again. The standard translation of gehasita is something like based on the home, which is a little weird. You're probably thinking, what does a house have to do with any of this? Well, when we look at the word's roots, it's not about a physical building at all. It means being tied to a home base.
Okay, this is the crucial point. A home base is anything we identify as me or mine. Our family, our reputation, our career, maybe our political tribe, even our online identity. When that psychological home base gets threatened, we react with the same primal defensiveness as if someone were literally breaking into our house. The monk's problem wasn't friendship. It was that he had made the nuns a part of his psychological territory.
And this insight leads us to a really powerful training method. Once you've let go of this home-based thinking, the Buddha then lays out a universal strategy for dealing with basically any kind of verbal attack you could ever face.
He acknowledges that, people are going to talk to you in every way imaginable. Their words might be true, they might be false, they could be gentle or super harsh, helpful or harmful. They might be speaking from a place of genuine love or just pure, unadulterated hate. The point is, he covers all the bases.
And for every single one of these possibilities, the training is exactly the same. You make a resolution. My mind will not be altered, no matter what they say. I will not speak evil words. I won't lash out. Instead, I will remain compassionate with a mind of loving kindness, without inner hate. That right there is the foundation of real resilience.
But to make this state of mind crystal clear, to make it something you can really feel, the Buddha then uses a series of absolutely unforgettable images, building up to the famous simile of the saw. First, he says to make your mind like the great earth. Just think about it. People can dig in it, spit on it, do whatever they want to it. But the earth is so vast and stable, it doesn't get troubled or disgusted. An insult thrown at a mind like that is like scratching the dirt. It leaves no real mark.
Next, he says, make your mind like empty space. Can you imagine someone trying to paint a picture on the air? It's impossible, right? The paint just falls right through. When your mind is open and spacious like that, harsh words just pass right through you without sticking, without leaving a stain.
And then, make your mind like a great river. Picture someone taking a tiny burning grass torch and trying to set the whole Ganges River on fire. What happens? Shh! The torch is instantly snuffed out by all that immense cool water. In the same way, a vast, compassionate mind can instantly extinguish the heat of someone's anger without ever getting hot itself.
And then he drops this, the ultimate test. He delivers this shocking line. He says that even if you are under the most extreme physical torture imaginable, if you allow even one thought of hatred to arise in your mind, you are not practicing this teaching. Now, this isn't a literal command, of course. It's a powerful metaphor for the absolute unconditional nature of this mental training.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. What does this ancient text really teach us about being resilient in our world today?
Well, the core takeaway here is a radical redefinition of what strength even is. So often, we think strength is about winning the argument, defending our honor, or protecting our home base. But this teaching shows us that real, lasting resilience isn't about building better walls. It's about cultivating an inner space so vast, so open, and so deep that nothing from the outside can truly, fundamentally disturb it.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Think about the challenges in your own life. The harsh words you hear, the criticisms, the conflicts. What could you face? What could you endure? And how much more compassion could you offer the world if your mind was truly as vast and unshakable as the earth, the sky, and the great rivers?